Welcome to Wawa's on Wire. Today we're talking about the proposed Urban Renewal Bill 2025 and, well, the significant pushback it's currently facing, particularly from the four state governments led by the Perikatan National Coalition. This isn't just, another piece of legislation passing through. It feels like a dramatic political standoff.
I really do.
Touching on these fundamental issues, state autonomy, land rights, and really the future of urban communities across Malaysia. Let's try and unpack this a bit.
Yeah, and what's fascinating, I think, is just how quickly this bill has ignited a national conversation. It's really highlighting those long-standing tensions, isn't it, between federal ambitions and state powers.
Absolutely.
And it forces us, to consider crucial questions about how we balance progress with the well-being and the rights of citizens.
Okay, so this is where it gets really compelling for me. The four states under Perikatan National, Kelantan, Terengganu, Kedah, and Perlis, they haven't just quietly voiced disapproval.
No, not at all.
They've issued this powerful joint statement, a united front rejecting the bill outright. They're making their position loud and, well, undeniably clear.
Indeed. And that statement, it came directly from the Menteri Besar of each state.
Yeah.
Dato Seri Ahmad Samsuri, Dato Seri Muhammad Sanusi MD Noor, Dato Muhammad Nasruddin Daud, and Mo Chukri Ramli. They outlined several critical concerns. Their argument is, if passed, this bill would apply across peninsular Malaysia and Labuan.
Right.
And it would profoundly impact, they say, state government's traditional autonomy, land ownership, the continuity of existing communities, and even potentially basic human rights.
Wow.
So yeah, it's not just bureaucratic shuffling. It's presented as a challenge to the structure of our federal system.
So if we try to look beyond maybe the political posturing, what could this actually mean for the average Malaysian citizen? It sounds like it goes much deeper than just new regulations.
It absolutely does. I mean, the core of their concern about autonomy, it connects directly to Malaysia's whole federal setup.
Right, okay.
Land matters, urban planning. These have, by constitutional design, traditionally fallen under state jurisdiction. It's clearly outlined in the Town and Country Planning Act of 1976.
Right, I remember that one.
Exactly. So the states believe their existing mechanisms are already more comprehensive, more localized, because they're designed to respect, local residents' needs, their values, cultural backgrounds, allowing for development approaches that actually fit individual state contexts. The fear is a federal bill could just override these specific local considerations.
Leading to a sort of one-size-fits-all approach.
Precisely, which might alienate communities.
Okay. And beyond just this abstract idea of state rights, the statement from these four state governments, it also warns of very direct, tangible impacts on people. Is that right? They seem particularly worried about existing landowners and traditional communities.
Yes, this is a crucial point, and it's where the discussion becomes, highly sensitive. They specifically emphasize a potential weakening of rights for original landowners and traditional communities. Particularly, they mention urban Malays and Bumi Putra. This isn't just about property values. It touches on these deeply embedded social contracts, identity politics, things that have shaped the nation. They seem especially alarmed by what they describe as the bill's lack of clear provisions for compensation and safeguard mechanisms.
So the details aren't clear enough for them?
That seems to be the core issue. This omission, they fear, could lead to rapid demographic shifts, potentially disrupting the ethnic balance in cities and impacting the proportion of Bumi Putra property holdings. So altering the social fabric, basically.
An imbalance in cities. That sounds like a recipe for broader societal issues, doesn't it? Not just a property dispute.
Absolutely. The four state governments are also deeply concerned that without clear and robust implementation mechanisms, the bill could, perhaps inadvertently, widen the gap between urban ethnic groups.
Which could harm national harmony.
That's the fear they're expressing, yes.
Yeah.
A cornerstone of Malaysian society. They see it as a potential flashpoint, not just a planning tool.
Okay, so if these four states are rejecting the new bill, what's their proposed solution then? Are they just saying stick with the status quo, or do they have a different path forward in mind?
Well, their argument is that existing laws are already sufficient to address urban redevelopment and renewal issues effectively.
Okay.
They point to a whole raft of comprehensive legislation, like the National Land Code, which governs almost all land matters.
Right.
The Land Acquisition Act 1960, which already allows for land appropriation for public purposes, with due compensation. The Strata Titles Act 1985, for managing multi-unit properties. The Local Government Act 1976, empowering local authorities. And that Town and Country Planning Act 1976 we mentioned earlier.
So quite a few existing acts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their argument is basically these laws, maybe with more focused enforcement, perhaps some necessary amendments to streamline things, could achieve the desired outcomes without needing this entirely new, potentially overreaching federal bill.
Which brings us squarely to the federal parliament, where the tension seems to be really brewing. Dato Seri Takiyuddin Hassan, the chief whip for Perikatan Nasional, has made some very strong statements, hasn't he? Escalating things significantly.
Oh, absolutely. What's fascinating here is his direct, very forceful challenge to the government. Takiyuddin has unequivocally said that if the government insists on pushing this bill through Parliament, Perikatan Nasional will demand a recorded vote.
A recorded vote, so everyone has to publicly state their stance.
Precisely. It forces every MP onto the record for their constituents. And he directly countered the Minister of Housing and Local Government, Yunga Korming's, earlier claim that the bill had state support.
How so?
By pointing to the clear rejection by the 4 Perikatan National governed states as, well, proof otherwise. It's a strategic move, really, perhaps, to expose any potential disagreements within the ruling coalition itself.
And he even went as far as to say they'd risk suspension from Parliament. That's a truly bold move, almost unprecedented, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. He declared that all 68 Perikatan National MPs would fully oppose the Urban Renewal Bill, even if it meant facing 6 months of suspension.
Wow.
That threat alone really underscores the perceived gravity of the bill's implications for state sovereignty and community rights, as they see it.
So it's not just political theater.
It seems not. While acknowledging that, the opposition's votes alone might not be enough to block passage, he expressed his belief that perhaps some government MPs might also share their concerns privately, hinting at potential defections or at least, strong internal debates within the ruling coalition. This really transforms a policy debate into a high-stakes political confrontation.
Now, this isn't just something that popped up recently, is it? The idea of an urban renewal bill has actually been causing significant discussion since earlier this year, even before it was formally introduced.
That's correct. Even the initial drafting drew widespread attention and criticism from, frankly, both sides of the political spectrum. Opposition MPs were quick to scrutinize it. They were suggesting it would marginalize low-income groups and could even lead to the displacement of Malay and Muslim communities from their homes. That was a key concern voiced early on.
Right, and some critics went further, didn't they? Drawing comparisons.
Yes, some went as far as drawing these stark comparisons to the deeply sensitive situation faced by Palestinians. That immediately amplified the emotional and political stakes hugely.
Wow, that is a serious and highly charged accusation to make in this context. Did the Prime Minister, Dato Seri Anwar Ibrahim, address these concerns as they escalated?
He did. Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim emphasized that the bill wouldn't erode people's rights and was in fact designed to benefit all. That was his message.
But did that calm things down?
Well, his reassurance didn't fully pacify the opposition's anxieties, it seems. In fact, you had those initial protests, spearheaded by the PAS Youth Wing, initially aimed specifically against the bill. But they later expanded, didn't they, into a broader anti-Anwar rally.
Oh, yes.
Which just underscored the deep political undercurrents and how easily a policy debate can become intertwined with these broader political narratives and grievances here.
So the bill has had its first reading, and now it's slated for the second and third readings. That means we're at a really critical juncture, aren't we?
Absolutely.
This is where policy becomes reality, and the choices made now will likely resonate for decades. It makes you wonder, and we want to know what you, our listener, think about all of this. How do you see the implications? For our cities, for state autonomy, for the communities you live in?
Yeah, it's a big question. This whole situation, it just powerfully underscores the ongoing delicate balance of power within our federal system. And it shows how proposed legislation, even when framed with, perhaps good intentions, can so quickly ignite these passionate debates over state sovereignty, land rights, national identity, and the very future of our diverse communities. The Urban Renewal Bill 2025 has really become a potent focal point for these deeper discussions, raising vital questions about how we envision and implement urban development while effectively safeguarding the long-term interests and the traditional rights of all communities. It's a complex tapestry of law, politics, and social equity.
It truly is a complex matter with so many layers: economic development, social equity, fundamental governance principles.
Yeah.
What really stands out, I think, is the vocal, unified stand from those 4 state governments.
Yes, that unity is striking.
And the incredibly strong reaction from parliamentarians on both sides. It clearly shows this is more than just a legislative exercise. It feels like a battle over values and priorities. So, what are your thoughts? How should urban development find that crucial balance with state autonomy and the ingrained rights of communities? Your perspective is really invaluable here. Remember to like and subscribe for more conversations like this.